Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So we found the key by solving the candle puzzle, which I knew we were going to have to burn this candle. And I knew we were going to use the stick to close the window. But the order in which to do all of this is actually a little weird because I had to take the grease tissue that we've had since the beginning of the game almost and use it with the stick to make it a long lighter effectively and carry the flame from the candles here to the candle there. You have to do it once and then the candle gets blown out because the window's open. Then you have to use the stick to close the window because it wasn't letting you do that until then. And then you have to use the tissue on it a second time to light the candle. And that's just a little complicated, a little demanding. I had to use a hint to realize the first step of using the grease paint. And now we have this key, which I think is just going to work here. Nope. I can pick up something.
The lectern was bare.
So if the key doesn't go there, does it go with this statue? So we've got a key and no lock.
George Stobbart, grave robber. No, I don't think so.
So there's nothing here. Let's go show the key to the mistress of the house. We're also looking for a well, which means that part is something that we haven't been able to solution. In fact, we talked to this guy and he goes, I need to think about it some more before I can figure out a way to find this well. And so I think that means I have to solve this puzzle first. So let's give this item to her and see if she recognizes a lock that this would work in.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
What do you make of this?
It looks like some sort of key. Where did you get it from?
It was buried inside the great candle in the mausoleum.
Inside it? What have you done to it?
I, lit it.
But it is irreplaceable.
Listen, the candle was to be lit in case of Moorish attack, right? Well, it burnt down in no time and revealed this key thing. Maybe that was the real purpose of lighting the candle.
What are you suggesting?
That lighting the candle was the equivalent of break glass in case of emergency.
Sentiment must not stand in the way of solving this mystery. You did the right thing.
So I can show her now the burnt tissue.
What does this charred tissue suggest to you?
You have pyromaniac tendencies?
Probably. And we already had that conversation, so it just disappeared
I'll look around
immediately.
if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
So that didn't move the story forward, or maybe it did in just some weird way that doesn't seem obvious. We'll have to talk to this guy. Because we're still looking for a well, or wherever this key would fit.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
This tissue is charred.
You won't get any argument from me on that, Senor Stobbart.
Do you know what this is?
No, senor. Is it some kind of key?
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Where did you get it?
It was hidden inside the big candle in the mausoleum.
And you burnt it? I wondered what the light was I saw through the window. My lady will be furious. The candle was centuries old.
Ah. Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
See, now he
Yes.
For
responds to
generations,
this.
the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Why? Of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
So here's a hazel tree right there, I guess, and we'll get our stick. Couldn't click there
I went
before.
over to find a suitable stick. I don't believe it. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
So there must be some other hazel trees that I can click on somewhere. If these are what the hazel trees are supposed to be. Is there anything new to click on? So I knew this gag was gonna happen. But am I really gonna have to leave to find a hazel Y branch? Can't break this stick into a Y shape, can I?
Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again.
So we're looking here.
So that was what a hazel tree looks like. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
Why it's throwing this extra level of difficulty at me, I don't know. Seems kind of silly. Ah, here's a tree. Maybe it's this one. They just wanted to make it a little bit more difficult.
I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
And so now we have this dowsing rod. And let's give it to him and see if he'll do it. Because certainly George has no idea what he's doing. Of course, this is all just hogwash. This
Hi, Lopez.
Can't find
Got a
water
minute?
Certainly,
this
senor.
way.
How can I help you?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand's tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
What's interesting here is this is kind of a lot of animation of just walking around. I guess it's better that this is animated though, instead of making the player click back and forth to do this. I guess that was a sometime later fade in and fade out. I think that
Stobbart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobbart, The loan was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
So they found the well just out of some stupid luck instead of the dowsing, which is a better way, but to have a joke be the solution to it doesn't work.
The well had been
when
lost
the
for
puzzle
decades
is
at least. The air
that
was cool
important.
after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I suppose the problem with it also is that the joke went too long. It's like you found the dowsing rod, and it didn't need that much setup and that much work to get to that point.
Sometime in antiquity, there'd been a rock slide. Big ones. I wished I'd had a hard hat.
So we have a lion's head here, which I guess we're gonna put the key in the mouth or in the eye or something, up the nose.
From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece.
Interesting. Let's just click on it first.
I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger.
Wow. For a second there, I thought I might have...
Oh, very funny, you psychos!
Signor Stobbart! Signor Stobbart! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine!
Que susto me has dado! You gave me a scare!
Nice try, Templars.
So, just had to turn it. For a second there, I thought he actually did die and game over. That would be weird. Because this isn't one of those games where you can die. King's Quest and Sierra games were like that, where if you did the wrong thing, you could die and you had to save scum like crazy. But most point-and-click adventure games, there was no way to die unless the game intended for you to die.
I wish that I had Leary's
story.
flashlight now. It was too dark to see, and I had to rely on touch. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring.
Let's try the mirror here and see if we can see something there. I thought the mirror
I
was used
realized
in
I
a
could use the
different
mirror
place.
to reflect the light from above.
So I'm seeing...
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket. It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed.
Well, if there's a socket, we'll try this key.
I slid the stone key into the lock. There were buttons that turned the dials.
Okay. You gonna give me any help here, game? 1304. Let's see. That would be... Let's see. If C is 1,000 minus 10, and L is 500 plus 30. Maybe L is 1,000 plus... No, because then that still doesn't make sense. X is 10. So we need something that's 13. But there's nothing here that's 13. The lowest number is 10. I don't even know if I have the right solution. I guess.
I must have made a mistake. The lock spun back to neutral and nearly took my fingers off. I was gonna have to start from scratch again.
So this is going backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then 10 to 19 to 20, because I could go back here to 30 to 40, and then we now know L is 50, and then 60, then 70, then 80, and then C must be 100, so that's 90. And so we could go 99 is the maximum number, and the minimum number, I suppose, would theoretically be 00. Let's see.
It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle.
I don't know what to do with the dial with the Roman numerals. That's true. I don't. I just don't know what number they want. Let's see. Let's go back up and talk to people.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Let's ask for the flashlight, I suppose.
It's really dark down there. Do you have a flashlight or something?
No. I broke my torch only last month.
Damn. It's so bright up here, but the light's just not getting into the corners.
See, the light, it goes in straight lines.
Alright. No
Catch you later,
real
Lopez.
solution there.
Adios, Senor Stobbart.
And let's see.
The De Vasconcelos Mausoleum, where 5 Templars lie.
So should
I
it
wasn't
be
about to go
6?
clambering on rooftops if I didn't have to. George Stobbart, grave robber. No, I don't think so. It was too delicate to move.
So nothing I'm clicking on is telling me a number. And 100 different combinations is too many to guess. Really. Far too many, honestly.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
And there's nothing
I'll have a
new
look
to
around
ask here.
if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
So let's just, like, let's go with the hints then, since I've tried to talk to everybody and I don't want to leave this area. You need to enter a series of numbers. Check the notes in your diary after you examine the tomb in the church of Montafon. Okay. Let's see. Montafon. Oh, around the outside of the inscriptions were the numerals. Oh, seriously. Ridiculous. That was a long, long time ago. I'd totally forgotten about those numerals. Alright, fine. Back down this way. Over to this. And thank goodness that you have notes in this game, because I swear you didn't have that.
Now I knew what I
originally.
was looking for. It only took a few moments to find it. And there it was. A worked socket. As smooth and perfect as if it had been carved only yesterday.
Oops. I still have to use the key, I guess.
I slid the stone key into the lock. There were buttons that turned the dials.
Alright. So you stay on the page. So... I suppose 14 is the first one. So this plus that.
I heard the sounds of the lock moving. Either that or the wall was going to come down on my head.
So 14 works. And then next we want 27. So this is kind of just a combination lock of a different way of it working. 14, 27. It's working. And then, and see the way this was written, 6 and then 81. So this and then this and this. Should have gone the other way on this one. $80. This is the problem with Roman numerals, though, is the numbers just get bigger and bigger when you try to depict them. Well, their inconsistent links is probably more of a problem. 81. So that's 4 of 6 numbers. You certainly would not have been able to get this done 3 and 1 without writing this down and memorizing any of this would be a nightmare. Too complicated a puzzle. 3 and then I believe 1. And hopefully one mistake doesn't undo the whole thing. And finally we need 17, 12, and 25. Alright. This one. And then we'll go this way. 18. 17. And then I went the wrong direction. No, actually I'm going the right way. 12. And now 25. That should be everything.
Oh, yes! Bonus points for that, I hope. I knew the old Stobbart fingerwork wouldn't let me down.
So, has this now opened the door? I guess it has. And we get this cutscene.
Before I left, though, there was one last
And
thing
it
to
just
do.
kind of jumps from it. And we got the chess piece. And the kids.
You won't be needing that replacement piece anymore, Countess. I found it with the children. You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
Wow. Skipping some opportunity there to have touching dialogue. And just skipping all of this.
George, welcome back.
Come in, George. It's
I was
good
like,
to see
where's
you again.
Andre? He's over
Is
here
it?
in the chair.
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, George.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell Andre what else you found, George.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
George found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we've got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that George found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much,
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Icetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in the wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as...
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
Andre, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was.
We understand you've got commitments. Oh, listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
So, I get this feeling that some of the cutscenes have been cut short in the director's cut, because they seem to just pop up and then go away. And maybe because in the original game, I don't recall it being this way, but maybe it was that George would find something, talk to himself about that thing, and then go talk to Nicole about the same thing, and it was just kind of a little repetitive. That's the only thing I can think. Either that or the cutscenes are just cut really short for maybe not the greatest of reasons. We're on a train, which is weird, certainly, that they're showing us travel since they haven't shown us travel anymore. And we can't save the game. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if we're quickly approaching the ending of the series. It's probably not going to happen on this train, but something definitely is. Otherwise, they wouldn't have bothered to animate it or show it. Nicole has moved here, and we can see her leg is twitching. So, I guess finally at the end of the game, of the original game, Nicole decides to join the hunt. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.